If you're a true crime junkie, you need to hear about the chilling case of Elise Campbell. This case is not just another entry in the annals of suburban mysteries. It's a story that will grip you from the very beginning and refuse to let go. Elise Campbell, a name that now sends shivers down the spine of anyone familiar with the case, was an ordinary woman living an ordinary life until the unthinkable happened. In the serene neighborhood of Greenfield, the illusion of perfection shattered on a rainy Thursday morning. Greenfield was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, where children played freely in the streets, and where the biggest scandal was a neighbor's dog digging up someone's garden. But that Thursday morning, the rain seemed to wash away the veneer of tranquility, revealing the dark underbelly of human nature. Detective Sarah Mason arrived to find Elise Campbell, a 42-year-old mother, brutally murdered in her immaculate home. Sarah was a seasoned detective, but nothing could have prepared her for the scene that awaited her. Elise's home, usually a picture of suburban bliss, was now a gruesome tableau of violence. The sight was enough to make even the most hardened detective's stomach churn. Blood on cream-colored walls, yet no sign of struggle. It was as if Elise had known her attacker, or perhaps she had been taken by surprise. The lack of defensive wounds suggested that she hadn't had a chance to fight back. This detail would haunt Sarah as she delved deeper into the investigation, trying to piece together the final moments of Elise's life. Elise clutched a silver pendant with the initials JS. A clue, but not enough. The pendant was a delicate piece of jewelry, something that seemed out of place in the midst of such brutality. Who was JS? And why was this pendant so important that Elise had held on to it even in her final moments? These questions would lead Sarah down a winding path of secrets and lies. Her husband, David, had an alibi, being in Boston, but the mystery deepened with rumors of his affair. David Campbell was a successful businessman, often traveling for work. On the surface, he seemed like the perfect husband and father. But as Sarah dug deeper, she uncovered whispers of infidelity, of a marriage that was not as perfect as it seemed. Could David's affair have something to do with Elise's murder? Or was it just another red herring in a case full of them? The focus shifted to the pendant. It was the one tangible piece of evidence that seemed to hold a key to the mystery. Sarah spent countless hours examining it, trying to decipher its significance. Was it a gift from a lover? A token of friendship? Or something more sinister? The more she looked at it, the more it seemed to mock her, its secrets just out of reach. Days passed, and pressure mounted. The media had caught wind of the case, and the public was demanding answers. Sarah felt the weight of the world on her shoulders as she worked tirelessly to solve the puzzle. Every lead seemed to lead to a dead end. Every clue only deepened the mystery. The clock was ticking, and Sarah knew that the longer the case went unsolved, the harder it would be to find the killer. A camera caught a car arriving the night of the murder. Jason Stevens, a desperate ex-colleague of David's. Sarah's interrogation cracked him. Jason Stevens was a man on the edge, his life unraveling after losing his job. He had been close to David once, but their relationship had soured over time. The security footage placed him at the scene, but it was his demeanor during the interrogation that gave him away. He was nervous, evasive, and it didn't take long for Sarah to break through his defenses. Jason confessed. He needed money. Elise refused. Rage took over. It was a crime born out of desperation and anger. Jason had gone to Elise, hoping to borrow money to pay off his mounting debts. When she refused, something inside him snapped. The confession was a relief, but it also left Sarah with a sense of emptiness. The case was solved, But the senselessness of the crime was hard to reconcile. Justice was served, but the scars, they remain. The trial was swift, and Jason was sentenced to life in prison. But for Elise's family, the pain of losing her would never fade. Sarah, too, was left with scars, both from the brutality of the crime and the emotional toll of the investigation. She had solved the case, but the cost had been high. The silent witness was a simple pendant, but it spoke volumes. In the end, it was the pendant that had led Sarah to the truth. It was a small, seemingly insignificant piece of jewelry, but it had held the key to unraveling the mystery. As Sarah held it in her hand, she couldn't help but feel a sense of closure. The case was over, but the lessons it had taught her would stay with her forever. The silent witness had spoken, and its message was clear. Even in the darkest of times, the truth will always find a way to come to light.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and like the video.